But then came the Synod of Rome, the Council in Rome, 382 AD, 350 some years after the death of Jesus and perhaps his resurrection, that the current 27 books of the New Testament were decided upon. And from then on, the Catholic Church, which was the only church at the time until the Reformation in 1517 in Germany by Martin Luther, said, this is the New Testament. This is the only New Testament that will be read, and everything else is heretical. What's interesting is the first Vatican Council in 1870 decided that parts of three of the Gospels, which weren't in the original copies, but made it into the Vulgate, the Latin version, they decided that it was okay. And it was Mark 20 when it talks about you can handle venomous snakes and drink poison. That was never part of it, but they just decided to slap it on. It sounds pretty good. In Luke, in chapter 22, when Jesus is in Gethsemane and he falters, and an angel comes and helps him find his strength and find his way. That was never written in the earlier versions of Luke. And then, of course, in John, chapters 7 and 8, the end of 7 and the beginning of 8, you have the woman who was accused of adultery and was to be stoned to death. And Jesus said, he who is without sin cast the first stone. Wonderful, lovely book that was just a fantasy that was made up 100 years later after, and just post-a-note stapled into the Gospel of John. But it was at that time that 382 AD, that is where the New Testament coalesced, came together. And then during the heady days of the Reformation, when the Catholic Church was panicking because tens of thousands were breaking off and becoming Lutherans, they had the Council of Trent, and it all was reaffirmed. So by 1546 at Trent, which was in northern Italy, it was decided that from then on they had an airtight New Testament. So when someone asks you who wrote the New Testament, it was really a continuous process of blending. And when you think about some of the things that were discovered afterward, especially the Marathonian fragment, that was from 1740 AD. It is the actual physical copy of the oldest list of New Testament writings. And it was a little different than what they had already decided upon. And we'll talk about the Marathonian fragment later on. But I think we've taken a deep enough dive into the New Testament to at least knowing why those 27 books are the books that are used today in evangelical Christian services.